Hey guys, welcome to another Hey you millennial bitches! Welcome to a big bang bazinga filled Rocket League video. Wait, oh that's right, I actually haven't checked my anal itex for my channel's demographic. So let's just check that out real quick. Oh, that is great. Not much to work with here. You guys see Endgame yet? It's been 2.5 years since Rumble was introduced to Rocket League, and I do remember myself laughing hysterically during my first games playing that mode. Now, as you know, Rumble is all about skill. The spikes are incredibly difficult to use, for instance. The tornado is the most skillful item in the game mode, and you have to be some kind of crazy messiah to hit an area with a ball frozen. Hitting that is it's inconceivably hard. The mode is fun, and I'm not going to brag or anything, but I am, in fact, Champ 3 in Rumble. So I know what I'm talking about. All jokes aside, I do think that Rumble needs a little update or enhancement of some sort. Since Epic Games now owns Psyonix, we can expect the game filling up with more vigor to the previously stagnant game modes. We've had some new maps come into circulation for Rumble matchmaking, like the Rocket Lab maps and Throwback Stadium, so the only things that really need to be changed are the power-ups. So get yourself, comfortable and let's talk about some fucking ideas that I came up with, yeah? I think that organizing these new power-ups is a good idea, so let's get to some already existing mutator influencers first, and then get into some weird shit. Have you ever played a private match where you tick this option? For those that don't know, when you score a goal with this mutator enabled, the ball immediately spawns at the center of the field as you score a goal. There is no replay, but there is immense scrambling towards the ball as soon as the ball resets. This seems like a relatively simple power-up to integrate, and I don't see too much wrong with it. I could just imagine like 4 people getting the same power-up and it will be just infuriating. Just like with the freeze nowadays. The freezer fucking sucks. It's easy to counter it if you have a plunger, a boxing glove, or the freezer. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna list all the counters so it, you don't get like a god mode. I'm trying to make it look good. Let's go to the next one. Whenever I play with the cue ball, it's immediately the worst idea I've ever had. And let me tell you, I once choked out with soap. This power-up is again very basic in nature. You target the ball when it's close enough, and voila! It's a goddamn immovable impractical cube from hell. The effect would last as long as the freezer ability, which is like 5 seconds. Yeah, let's tack on 5 seconds on that. And the way to counter this is with spikes, the power hitter, and the tornado. Alright, so those are the realistic ideas thrown in the pile. Now let's get kind of kinky, I guess. I don't know. Okay, for this one, you'd be targeting the ball in any given situation, and when enabled, gravity for the ball would become inverted, making it seek to the ceiling. The cars still behave the same, and we'll need to figure out a way to make plays. The effect could last for about 6 seconds until the ball returns back to its regular state. I, for one, welcome this feature. I believe it could make for some interesting playstyles. I think I'm getting blue balls just thinking of the ball resting on the ceiling, and I'm driving up to it with spikes ready to go. Effective counters could be the plunger, the spikes, and let's go with the magnet as well. Okay, this one's definitely a bit odd. In Super Mario 64, there's a level where you have to take on giant enemies. I was playing Rocket League when I was reminded of this level, and I inevitably started twisting it into the right scenario for the game. Imagine if you could increase your size. Boom, you're 3 times bigger. You'd become heavier, so the boot wouldn't be able to stagger you as much, which is good because the boot can take you out of position with any of the other powers. Now, even though you're bigger, you don't hit the ball any harder. You just have a much bigger hitbox, which is both great and less great. You could even use the giant vehicle as a battering ram to decimate the defense. Counters could be any of the abilities to keep the gargantuan car away from other players. I'd say the disruptor and the power hitter, and let's throw in the swapper as well. Now, on the other hand, making a car smaller is without a doubt worse than being bigger. For this one, the player you target would get a whole lot smaller, drive much slower, and since they're small AF, any bit of resistance will send them soaring across the field. Their hits would become weaker, and the boost strength would be decreased. The tornado could be a counter for this one, as they can just disrupt the entire enemy team. Now, I feel like this one hasn't been mentioned anywhere. Oil spillage. And do not tell me that the cars are RC cars that run on batteries. I haven't read the Rocket League lore where the precursors designed 3 dystopian anal glands to give birth to cars that are more eco-friendly. No. These cars run by oil in this scenario. Here, you target a car and upon activation, their car would control as if the handbrake is automatically stuck on. They'll only be able to drive with extreme control and careful turning. It would be pretty nice if there would be some kind of animation for oil spilling around the car with little temporary marks left by the tires. I'm sure that I'll put some gameplay on the screen where I'm trying to drive around with a handbrake on. It's tough. It's tough shit, guys. It's hard. This would probably last for like 5 seconds or so. Counters could be the grappling hook, the plunger, and the boxing glove, and let's go with the boot as well. I'm going to draw another inspiration from a great game, Cluster Truck. A game where you gotta jump between moving trucks in various environments. I highly recommend that game, it's a lot of fun. I actually have a speedrun in it. There's a mutator called Min-Max, and it sucks. You cannot stop jumping or moving forward. Jumping is a very important control feature in Rocket League, as I'm sure everyone in any rank will agree with. I'm not seeing many jump-focused power-ups, so here's a weird pitch. Were you to target someone with this ability, for every millisecond their 4 wheels touch the ground, they'll jump up automatically. And I don't mean the big jump you do when you hold down A, X, space, fucking B. Do they use A? I think I've held a Switch controller like 3 times in my life. They'd just be jumping with the least amount of height, but it would get annoying really fast. The effect would last for 5 seconds or so. Here's a little gameplay. Here's a little look at this game. This is not fun. This is not fun, but think about being the person that lets the other person do that. That is pretty fun. I say add it, Psyonix. Go and do it. You could probably put a little like what's it called? This is why I dropped out of English in college. Yep, spring, got it. Maybe you could add like a little spring, you know, underneath the car for, you know, extra flair. The effect would last for 5 seconds or so. The grappling hook, plunger, boxing glove, and possibly spikes could be effective counters. How about that? Now, I know we did the oil spill power-up earlier, but this one is a bit different. Also, I gotta kind of pat this list out. This would be a drunk driving ability. I'm not sure if Psyonix or even Epic Games would condone a non-consensual alcohol consumption ability in their game, but I'm an edgy YouTuber. Sometimes I'm on my phone while I drive. Don't do that, kids. If you've ever played GTA 4 or 5, and I know you millennial buds have, you know that you can drive under the influence, where all the controls are randomly inverted, turned around, swung about, and twisted into oblivion, where everything is out of control. Yeah, your controls would get interrupted at random intervals, pulling you to the left or right, speeding up the car and slowing it down. Basically, just go to Rockstar Games HQ and borrow their drunk driving code. Be like, hey, you know, we're trying to work on some rumble. Can you give us the fucking code? And it's like a Java code, and you know, you just get the Java code and you run out of there, man. I also dropped out of computer science. I forgot to do counters. I didn't write it down from the top of my head. Let's go with the spring-loaded ones. Yep, salvaged it. The con of Rumble is that the abilities are completely random. You could get 60 freezers in a row, although the chances of that happening are shit. I don't know math. It's like 11 and 1 40 times. Yeah, the boot is one of the most useful power-ups in Rumble, as you can use it for both defensive and offensive purposes. This next one would be a somewhat Boot 2.0, Boot 2 Electric Boogaloo, only needing you to get up close. I present to you, good people, the Batter. This little guy will appear on your hood and swing from left to right, taking out a short radius in front of you. This would push them in the direction the bat is swinging. The con about this power-up is that you need to get close enough to disrupt positioning. This would be ideal for offense, with 2 players making a play and you swinging for the fences at the defenses. Nice. Same counters as the boot, I guess, so grappling hook and the swapper. Okay, this one is a bit out there, but it could work. So this power-up would need 2 enemy cars being close enough to each other so you could target them both. When activated, you would tether them together with a very short cable. For 5 seconds, they'd need to work together to actually move around, since if they drive in opposite directions, they really wouldn't be able to get anywhere. Aerials would be incredibly interesting. Counters, definitely the swapper and the spring-loaded abilities. There are no power-ups where you leave something behind for the enemy team to dodge. Take Mario Kart for example. If you're lucky, you get a banana peel, and if you drive on it, you're incapacitated for a short time, spinning around like a stupid loser that you aren't. You're beautiful. Now, as I'm the epitome of edginess, I say we replace the banana with a landmine, since you know they explode. Sorry, what's that? The llama sir came up with the same idea a year ago? Oh boy, I should really do some research before doing these. You know, a wheel lock. Yeah. You could just, you know, it's a wheel lock. You know, if you drive over the Powerup, one of your wheels gets locked. Okay, there is that. As for the counters, spring-loaded, plunger, and grappling hook are great counters. Last but not least, keeping with the theme to spawn something behind your car, how does a temporary wall sound like? No power-ups go through, but I think it would make sense to allow the power hitter ability to blow up the wall in one hit. Now let's take some measurements. As I look at this image from Dave over on the Rocket League Reddit, we can see that, so here's the goal, and as you can see, it's pretty big. About 100 doink singers, which is totally not a measurement unit I just made up. The wall would only be 75 doink singers wide, and, oh, it actually says it here. 24.5 meters high? Holy shit, this field is gargantuan. Let's make the wall exactly 24.5 meters high, or 26 doink singers if you want to get scientific about it. This could be spawned anywhere on the map. When you've got a breakaway with no one in goal, you could throw this up and the opposing team would need to jump over, drive past, or break the wall down! The wall would last for flippity 5 seconds, like every other ability I came up with because I have no idea how these power-ups would shape the game. I really hope the Psyonix sees this video and gets some inspiration from it. Even if it's just one of these abilities being implemented, it would freshen up the game mode incredibly. Now that the video is over, you are in charge. Whether you want to like or dislike the video, all feedback is very well appreciated. Do you have any additional ideas? Throw them in the comment section. You know how the YouTube game works. You give me comments, I give you hearts. I'll heart your comment. I heart every comment. Since it's a dry spell for new abilities and game modes in Rocket League, we might just have to hold our breath for more. Wait, what's this? The Boost gods have listened to our prayers. New modes. Oh my god. I don't even have to upload this video. My god. Okay guys, be gentle with each other, and see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to pickle Rick, your fellow father. Oh, goodbye.